What is up, everybody? And yes, we're back. And Happy New Year.
Whew.
It's the
Merry
Unrelated Sports
Christmas,
Podcast.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, what he said. It's the Unrelated Sports Podcast. I'm Andy McConnell. The voice you heard is the one and only Mr. Cody Allstat. Cody, it's been too long.
Bye. It has been. I actually missed this last couple weeks. It felt wrong. It feels like it's been a lot longer than 2 weeks, but
I know. It's just...
I guess technically 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's been one whole year.
I hate you.
I know. I had... You know I had to do that.
Yeah, it's a necessity, but it's the most overplayed joke
Yes,
every
it is.
year.
And that's why I know it annoys you, so that's why I
it does.
do it.
To no end.
Yep, that's why I do it. And I made sure to do it to everybody as well, just because I know how much it annoys them.
Yay.
Yeah. But, kind sir, what have you been up to since we last talked?
Let's see. I've been depressed. I've been on the edge of my seat. I've been pissed off. Did I say pissed off? I've been pissed off.
Okay.
This is sporting world, but I've also had a lot of great times with family. Yeah, it was kind of up and down, little break there. Weird couple work weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We unfortunately had a loss in our family. My wife's grandpa passed away on Christmas Day. So we had a funeral for him, and it was a very nice funeral and get together of loved ones. So he was a great man, and he will be missed. But like we've got to have since then, Santa brought us a Nintendo Wii for Christmas.
Nice.
And my daughter is getting into Mario Kart now, and she wants to play a lot.
Don't even talk to me about Mario Kart. I'm so bitter right now. I played my brother twice in maybe the last 2 weeks. Oh, Ashton might be the luckiest player I've ever met on planet Earth.
Mario Kart brings out the best and the worst in people. It really does.
Oh, I know. It was one of those where I was ready to throw things yesterday.
Nice.
Because when you're like leading with 200 feet left, and then next thing you know, you're finishing like 10th.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What did you get hit with? Everything?
Let's see, a blue shell. I think a lightning bolt. It was like, or maybe not the lightning bolt, but it was just one thing after another. And it's like, oh my word.
He knew what he was doing.
I know, and then he ended up winning. It's just, and then a couple times I tried that strategy. Nope, didn't work. No. Couldn't do it. Didn't get that lucky.
Yeah, so, you missed or whatever.
I don't know where he's holding the golden horseshoe, but good for him.
My issue has been, like I'll be leading, and then I get I get a good power up, but like I have nobody to throw it at.
I know. That's why part of me likes to just use even if I get like a star, get something somehow when you get a star and then you're able to work your way up to first place and then you use it. But then right when you're getting ready to use it, that's when the bad stuff all happens and then it's gone.
Yeah,
and there's a couple times where
almost have to use it right away.
I know. Well, and then there's a few times where I tried to time it because I saw, you can see what he had if you're playing with somebody. You can see what they have.
Yeah,
and so I tried to
whatever.
Yeah, basically. Cheating, playing the system, you do whatever. You're trying to time it. So okay, you're gonna try to guess when he's gonna use it because no, I didn't guess right, and it's just like, so yeah, it's just one of those days. But I'm glad Abby's learning to use it. That's good. Now, most important question: what character is she?
She's Princess Peach a lot, or she uses her own Wii character or me character, whatever.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a Yoshi guy myself.
I'm a Yoshi guy too. Yesterday was the orange Yoshi a lot.
Who?
You could change the color of them.
Nice. How'd you do that? Because I don't even think I know how to do that. Okay.
What Mario Kart do you have?
Just Mario Kart Wii?
This is Mario Kart 8, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Pretty easy.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, I'm glad, that started off kind of rough. I'm glad everything else went good for the holidays for you.
Yeah, it was a good holiday with family, and like I said, tragic situation, but you get to see people that you don't see often, which is a silver lining.
Yeah, especially during the holiday season. So
Yeah.
that's always good.
How was your holiday break? Anything exciting?
No, not really. Ate a bunch of food. I made it past midnight on New Year's Eve, which really
We did
surprised
too.
me. I don't know. I was watching a movie, so that really surprised me. But
We watched 2 movies that night. One was with the kids. I can't. One that I watch all the time. I can't remember the name of it right now. I could sing the songs from it, but I can't tell you the name of it.
not Frozen, Moana,
No,
something like that.
no.
Okay, no, that's about.
Hispanic. It's Hispanic.
Oh, Dane, I can think of what it is too. I haven't seen it, but I think I've seen the you see previews of all this stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about though. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then we watched Elf too.
Oh, nice.
That was fun.
Yeah. I watched a movie called Amber Alert on New Year's Eve night. Really good. It's with Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Williams.
You had me with Hayden Panettiere.
Perfect. That's how you get most guys at least. Yeah, really good. Just really hits you. That okay. Yep. But yeah, it really hits you. In all honesty. Hey, Iowa basketball won.
Yeah, I saw it went to overtime.
Yeah, I saw that too. So I watched that, and then actually a couple days before on Netflix, I watched there's a new movie on there called Carry On.
I've been hearing a lot about that.
Oh, it's a really good movie. Really good movie. It has Jason Bateman in it. Again, he plays the bad guy actually, and it's pretty interesting.
I bet he'd be a good bad guy.
Yeah, he was in this movie. It makes you think on how the movie's going to end the whole time, and when you think you know, it's like no, you have no idea yet.
I like that.
Yeah,
we've been watching Suits, and I keep ruining it for Courtney. Well, she's seen it before, I haven't, but I keep like guessing what's going to happen just by like little things, and she gets upset that I get it right so often.
Nice. Oh, that's such a good show too.
It has been very good. It's been a slow roll for us, especially holiday season. We took a break because tried to watch as many of the Christmas movies and stuff as we could, but
yeah,
now we're getting back into it.
Yeah, I'm big Mike. As I think I've said before in there, I like Mike. I like Mike Ross.
I like Mike Ross a lot too. Lewis Litt, I've been up and down about a lot.
You ride the coaster. Right, you ride the Lewis
right
coaster.
Right now, we're down on him, but he did just get named partner. So, spoiler alert.
Yep. For people that haven't watched the show, that's been out for or done for I don't know what 10 years. Not quite 10 years, but
I don't know. But there is a spinoff coming out in February.
Suits LA. Yeah, it's gonna have basically new cast and everything. Maybe some recurring appearances from the previous cast, but
no princesses or anything.
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know if they've officially slammed the door on that, but we're gonna keep it open because it's what are they gonna do?
Exactly. Whew. Is Prince Harry listening to this? Or I'm sorry, former Prince? I don't know if
Hey, could be. You never know. So, okay, so Cody, what's new in the sports world? What's been going on?
Let's see. Well, Wrexham has also been up and down. I can tell you that. I think since they've had a couple draws. They had their first loss in quite a while, and they just had a win on Saturday. They had fallen from third, or they had gone from third. They went back up to second for a little bit. Now they're back in third on their table. A little up and down. I think they got maybe they are second, but I think they've got like a game in hand on the team below them. So I'll have to double check that.
I'm looking at the hockey standings.
A A lot of last minute scores.
Okay. Look at the hockey standings. Your Florida Panthers are in second place right now.
Yeah, they're still. They've been hot and cold, but decent lately.
Yeah, my Stars have moved up to third in their division. They're on a nice little like 6-game point streak. So
Oh wow.
that's how you do that.
So points wise, Wrexham is they're third in their table,
Okay.
but they're tied with the team above them. But I think there's like, I don't know, criteria wise, they're in third instead of second. I don't know how, but the team in first has played 2 less games and has one more win than them. So like the team in first is pretty solid in first.
Okay, I gotcha.
A lot of season left, and like I think that NFL or like Dolphins Twitter is toxic, but like trying to get on Wrexham Twitter, holy cow, man, they are, whoo, like every loss is end of the world. They're not gonna advance, whatever. They're gonna be. It's like there's still 3 months of football to play, and they're giving them like no shot at the automatic promotion.
Yeah, I've heard that about soccer Twitter. Like even for like the World Cups and for like, well, and for the less so for the Olympics, more so for like the World Cup and stuff, especially for the like the U.S. and stuff. We see of they lose one friendly, and it's like, well, that manager has to get fired. It's just time.
Yeah,
or they win one. Like let's just say hypothetically they knock off Mexico or whatever. It's like, could this be the year the U.S. actually goes to like the round of 8 or whatever? It's like, oh my word.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. I think you're probably right on that. Also, Cody, do you know the only 2 things that can slow down the world or the number 1 golfer in the world?
Children?
No, because all he's done is win since
true.
Bennett was born. So it's the Louisville Police Department.
Yep.
And then apparently broken glass. Yeah, you didn't hear about that? Oh yeah. Scotty Scheffler cut his hand on broken glass, like shards of broken glass, making Christmas dinner, and he's out for a little bit.
I did see that, like he was out, and I didn't read into why. I guess I was planning on looking back on it, and I never did.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, they didn't say exactly like did he drop a jar and it just some shards shattered back into his hand, or didn't say anything that happened, but or exactly the details of what happened. But yeah, so he's out for a bit.
Interesting. That sucks.
Yeah, I think his goal is to be back for Pebble Beach, for the Pebble Beach program, which I think is in about it's around Super Bowl weekend. I think maybe a week or 2 beforehand.
What is that? February 9th? February?
Yeah, somewhere in that. Like first, second week of February.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else has happened in the sports world. Wrestling. There's Soldier Salute tournament. There's been a lot of tournaments, but like the Hawkeyes aren't involved in them a lot. I haven't seen too much.
NASCAR season starts in 40 days.
Nice. Who'd you have flipping over on Facebook today?
This, I believe, was Sterling Marlin's car. I believe.
Nice. Is that the yellow Kodak?
Nope. The silver bullet, the 40 Coors Light car.
40 Coors Light. Did he did drive a number? He did drive a yellow Kodak, right?
Yep, won back-to-back Daytona 500s in that car. In 94, 95, I believe.
I used to pay attention to NASCAR. It was a better time.
The sport was probably a little bit better during that point. I'm going to be dead honest.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like star power and the whole nine, they don't have that now. And the people running the show just keep wanting to put their head in the sand and just act like everything's all right.
It's fine. It works out. Works well.
Yeah. Do you have an NBA update for us at all?
Yeah. It's still stupid.
Okay. There's Cody's NBA update for it.
That could be a segment.
Cody's weekly NBA segment.
Sucks.
Oh, boy. Oh boy. So let's see. We got
I
that.
did see
Oh,
Jimmy Butler once out of Miami.
yeah. So that's always great when
He's,
you want to be traded away from a very competent organization. That
yeah.
always works out well.
Miami's not a place that many stars want to be anymore.
Yeah.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
later.
We'll touch on that later. And then baseball wise, there's been some free agent signings here or there, but nothing massive. I don't think since we last talked.
I believe I'm going to go with just all Florida. The Marlins have not spent a penny.
And the Twins have only spent $6 million more than the Marlins this offseason. So both of our teams are doing great.
Great, love it. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a single player on the Marlins right now, but so I'm a pretty big fan.
Don't worry, I don't think their broadcasters can tell them anybody on their roster right now.
But
So
it's just crazy because they haven't added anybody this year, so they could just look at last year's roster, right?
that is true. That is true. Google exists, I believe. I think it's this new thing.
I'll have to check it out.
Okay. So, Cody, I think we've touched on everything but one thing.
Oh no, we haven't.
Oh, what?
The TGL.
Oh yeah, the
today.
golf league. I'm watching that currently. It's a little hard to follow on mute. Going to be honest,
Sure.
I have no clue what the heck's going on. But Ricky Fowler's team is getting the living daylights kicked out of them right now. They're down 6-1.
That doesn't sound like Ricky.
Yeah, because I think it's Shane Lowry, Matt Fitzpatrick, and I think it's Ludwig Oberg, the student prodigy from Sweden, who might or might not be my pick to win the Masters. I think that's the team. I'm not 100% sure because I've been kind of focusing on it all.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting.
Because it's all screen, right? I haven't. What's it on?
ESPN. Yeah, it is screen, but then like the surface that they're hitting off of is like they're creating divots and stuff. It's about as it looks realistic as it can get.
Interesting.
And the guys are mic'd up. Because I think it's what Tiger and Rory's league, like that they created, basically. Okay. So yeah, it looks interesting. Like I said, have no idea what the heck's going on though when I'm watching it, but
That sounds about right, though.
yeah, Ricky's getting ready to tee off right now. But yeah, they even have like fake sand traps, but I think it's still technically sand, like actual sand, and just how they do the putting greens and stuff. It is pretty interesting.
New York versus the Bay, huh?
Yeah, and the Bay is winning.
Well, down by the Bay where the Watermelon Grill.
And Ricky just had a nice little fairway finder, so good for him.
Well, you're ahead of me on that. All right.
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, again, I have it on TV. You have it on streaming, so
I have it on streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Cody,
he's just landed.
Nice. So I got a question to ask you, and if we would have done this a couple weeks ago, I would have been really fired up after I asked you this question. But do you want to talk about football?
Thought you'd never ask.
Well, let's just say it's a good thing we did have a podcast. What was it, Christmas Eve week or whatever week it was that the first round of the playoff happened, or the college football playoff happened?
Yeah.
Because I was big mad.
Yeah, you were, and it wasn't just because Indiana lost.
Yeah, it was because of the idiots like Kirk Herbstreit, Paul Feinbaum, anybody else that works at ESPN. Sean McDonough on the broadcast was saying that
That could have been our pest of the week.
Let's make it our pest. Screw it. Let's make it our pest of the week.
All right. Oh God. Oh, there it is. Okay. This Andy rant is brought to you by Decor Pest Control. Decor Pest Control offers monthly and quarterly services for residential and commercial pest control for earwigs, cockroaches, ants, bed bugs, fleas, bees, box elder bugs, mice, and rats. And remember, it's getting colder out, and mice are trying to get in right now. It's a great time to call Cass at 563-419-3251. And he also offers termite inspection. He's certified in that. So call Cass and tell him that the boys at Unrelated Sports Podcast sent you. Can't believe I still had that.
I'm proud of you.
Some things got moved, and it was scary.
Hey, we're starting the new year off with a bang, so that's good.
Yeah.
Ready?
There were some bad takes after week 1.
Yeah. So let's see. So Indiana, there's a rumor of or not a rumor, but there's discussion of they hadn't played anybody, yada yada yada. They didn't deserve to be in the playoff, and they get beat by Notre Dame, who last time I checked, I believe they're still one of the last 4 standing. Correct?
They are one of the last 4.
Yeah. So they get beat by Notre Dame. They actually end up getting beat by the smallest margin in the first round. Now,
yeah,
was there some stuff that helped with that, like a couple onside kicks? Maybe. But regardless, Indiana did play Notre Dame pretty tough. In considering that their quarterback was playing apparently on a torn ACL, it makes it even look even better in my mind. But so Indiana gets beat. SMU gets ran over by Penn State. And my gosh, they got ran over.
They did. It was bad.
So after, especially those 2 games, all we heard from all these morons at ESPN and all these morons on the internet were, these 2 didn't deserve to be in the playoff, yada, yada, yada. It should have been Alabama, should have been South Carolina, should have been Ole Miss.
Yep.
And then what happened the final night, or that night, when Tennessee plays Ohio State? They got ran out of the building.
Tennessee got walloped.
Yeah. So that's one SEC team down. We'll fast forward to, I think, a couple days before New Year's. Alabama's playing Michigan, who Michigan just beat Ohio State.
Bad Michigan team. I don't care.
Yep.
It is a very bad Michigan. I know they won a national championship last year, but they don't have anybody from that. And
nope.
They are not. They were a 6-6 team. 7-5.
7-5, I think, maybe, or 6-6. I think 7-5. But regardless, they were awful. Indiana did beat them. Did beat Michigan, by the way. And what happens? Alabama goes and lays an egg, and Michigan beats them in, I think, their ReliaQuest Bowl or whatever the Outback Bowl used to be named as. So
all the shut some people up.
Oh, it's surprising that all those guys got quiet as soon as the Tennessee loss happened. Like, there's no, like, Herbstreit didn't tweet anymore. Feinbaum didn't tweet anymore. All these idiots on TV didn't talk anymore. All got really quiet. And then, I think it was later that night or the next day, South Carolina gets beat by Illinois. Again, crickets. I mean, the only thing, Ole Miss killed Duke, but Duke was down there just like starting quarterback and they're starting running back because they entered the portal, and it's like, whatever. Well, then we'll fast forward, Cody, to the second round, the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Yep. What happened to the best team from the SEC?
They got by with the skin of their teeth.
That's the second best team, sir, not the best team in the SEC.
Oh, I'm sorry. But hey, they're still in the That's true. Fair enough.
That's true.
Fair enough. We're in top 4. I'm just saying.
That is true. That is true. Texas is still alive.
Texas is still alive. But yeah, Georgia did not look good.
No, and now, granted, you can use the argument, they didn't have Carson Beck. They had Gunnar Stockton, their backup quarterback. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's watched Carson Beck play this year. He's not good.
He has not been very good this year at all.
No, he's just, the only reason he's been relevant is because he has a hot girlfriend. That's about it.
As a matter of fact, him going down in the SEC championship probably helped Georgia to win the SEC championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Texas might have won that had the backup not come in.
I think you're right. I definitely think you're right. Because Stockton can at least run. But Beck couldn't. Beck couldn't throw to begin with anyway. But, so all these big bad boys from the SEC gone. Minus Texas. Which, they're the new transfer portal ad. Yeah, they're the transplant ad. Which even they somehow converted a 4th and 13 and stayed alive.
It reminded me of last year Alabama doing that against Auburn at the very end of the game.
Yep.
Like, it reminded me very, very similar to that. Alabama was like a 4th and like 30, but
yeah, Jalen Miller to Isaiah Bond, which was still nuts
in the corner.
But yeah, all these idiots that just want to keep saying, none of these guys deserve to be in. It's like, do they not realize that every game, like the NFL playoffs, are not close?
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of not close games in college football. Especially now, in today's game, where, even in the playoffs, you're losing players. You're losing
I know.
transfer portal guys. It's crazy. Now, like, not starters in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
But you're losing some backups in some of these games already.
But it's just... Oh, good.
Oh, I mean, bowl games just... A lot of bowl games don't matter anymore. I mean, look at... Cam Ward played half of a game.
Yeah. And probably the most famous of the non...
yeah.
Like
it
big
should
bowl
be.
games
It's the greatest. It's fun.
Pop-Tart.
It is a fun game.
Have you ever put butter in a Pop-Tart?
It's so freaking good.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, honestly, the only letdown for the Big Ten right now is Iowa. That's it. Which congrats, they have a new transfer portal quarterback now.
I told my wife that tonight. Her response was, "Why? So they can ruin him?"
Hey, I think that was about my response too. It's
that
like,
was very similar to. I was like, I have to say something. Like, I'm gonna let them know that Courtney said that.
Because so they
haven't done well with quarterbacks.
Oh, I know. So the guy that they got is Mark Gronowski, a transfer quarterback from South Dakota State, who's been one of the blue bloods of the FCS for the last how many years? They did win the last 2 national championships, except for this past season. And for some reason, he decided to come to Iowa, which is not necessarily a quarterback factory. Is that the right word to say? I think, the right terminology.
I'd say so. It'd be. Well, they're not good with them.
No, because basically the last relevant quarterback we had was C.J. Beathard.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
the original
say,
Sunshine.
You could say Nate Stanley, but no, he was not good. Sunshine was before he cut his hair. Should never have cut the flow. But it's a good get for Iowa. I don't. Why come to Iowa though? Like, he has pro potential, and I think he just shot it all down the drain now.
Yeah. I've seen some rumors since he came. There's a couple wideouts actually starting to sniff. So
also, why we have no good history with wideouts?
No,
unless it maybe this
tight ends.
Yeah, tight end deal. But I don't. Maybe this. Who knows? Maybe this would be a program changer type deal. Maybe. I'm not optimistic, but you never know.
I'm hoping for the best because I want to see. I hope this is the right decision for him because he potentially could have. I mean, he could have gone to the NFL right now and probably been one of the top prospects in it.
Oh, definitely.
It's not a deep quarterback class.
No, it's like the Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis class of a few years ago. It's not good. It's bad.
I don't know where he would be picked, but
I would say he could be like a 3rd or 4th rounder, in all honesty. So yeah, but yeah, Iowa lost to Missouri in the bowl game. It was bad. It's just, I got nothing. That's all I got. So should we break down the latest playoff games though? Just quickly, we briefly touched on the Texas Arizona State game, which debacle. Cam Scattaboo. We tip our hats to you, sir. Yeah,
he's very good. I was not a fan of him that night, but
he was. Him and his quarterback were kind of getting into it with one another. It was. And their head coach is kind of fiery. It was an interesting group. But Arizona State kept fighting. Yes,
they did. Till the very end.
Yeah, had Texas on the ropes, and
I had given up. I told Courtney to turn it off, but she didn't. And then the 4th and 13 happened. And then, there's another pest was whoever was broadcasting that game and almost didn't show the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, it was ESPN.
What are you doing?
Because they had to make
sure
you
didn't notice didn't notice everybody was lined up and ready to play, and then Gunner got a 25-yard touchdown pass. Caught a 25-yard touchdown. Words are hard. Touchdown pass.
Yeah,
Charlie Brown.
And again, I understand they wanted to say, "Hey, Rose Bowl is going to be coming up. and they had, they were talking about all the other stuff that went on that day, but it's like just wait or come in like about 20 seconds earlier, like cut in from the commercial. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, we can watch them get lined up.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah,
We don't
ESPN's
want.
production though has it's kind of really dipped the last few years. It's like it's not quite Fox NASCAR level, but it's progressing bad. It's not good.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to compare that because I've never watched NASCAR on Fox, at least
That's
in the
good. You're
last
lucky.
decade.
You're lucky. That's when it's really starting to get bad. So we had that game. Oh, I forgot. I guess the first game of the quarterfinals was Boise State and Penn State on New Year's Eve. Like Boise put up a fight. It was
They did. They tried to crap on Genty for his game, but he had 30 carries for 100 yards. I mean, it was
yeah. And when your
against
quarterback can't throw,
one of the and they have 9 in the box every
Yeah.
play.
like the only thing that you can maybe give him some grief for is he had what 2 fumbles.
2 fumbles.
Yeah.
2 fumbles, 1 lost.
Yeah, which is big. Like one of them was a big momentum killer.
Yeah.
But I mean, they hung with him, and then Penn State got a late, like 70-yard, 80-yard touchdown. Like really put the game on ice. But Boise competed though.
They did.
Ohio State competed. They competed a lot.
Oregon did not.
No, you would never guess which team was actually ranked 1 and which one was ranked 8th. Or seeded, I guess.
Yeah. That doesn't matter anymore because I think Ohio State jumped up to the number or the favorite pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're like 3 times the betting favorite than the other, whoever their next closest team is. It might actually be Penn State. Or actually, it's Notre Dame, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good. Jeremiah Smith, very good.
Yeah.
They're freshman wideout.
Freshman.
Yeah. I didn't realize how big he is. Like, he doesn't look that big. But I think his, like, stature is, like, very close to Julio.
He's like 6'3", 2 something. He's a big boy. I think it's just because, like, Calvin Johnson was another guy that, like, he didn't look huge, but he was huge. He just was so proportional that it threw you off.
Well, and the scary thing is, Smith has to be in school still for 2 more years.
Yeah.
There's
so many young, talented wide receivers.
Well, it's him and then Ryan Williams, the teenager from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh boy, that's going to be a fun class in a couple of years.
Yes,
or fun draft
is.
class. But yeah, Ohio State. I think they're playing ticked off from the Michigan game. They're kind of good.
They are.
Just a little
Unfortunately, Texas is going to run into that buzzsaw. It'll be a very interesting matchup.
How quickly do they bench Ewers for Arch if it goes bad?
Pretty quickly, I think. There was points in this last game. I mean, Ewers redeemed himself at the end in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some times that Ewers would have been the reason we lost that game.
Yeah.
I like Quinn Ewers. I mean, he was a top prospect in college. He was actually supposed to be playing at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
But
he took the money and ran.
Yeah. But Arch might be a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah. And he also does have that last name, which just makes people want him in more and more.
It does.
And more.
Every time Ewers looks sloppy, he's getting his name called.
Yeah.
Which sucks for him, but...
Yeah, but it's part of the job, especially when you're getting paid now. It's part of the job.
Yeah, getting paid a lot.
So, and then the last game of the quarterfinals kind of took a back seat, and rightfully so, to everything else that was going on in New Orleans with the tragedy of the terrorist or whatever they're calling, whatever attack they're calling when he just ran to a crowd on New Year's or drove into a crowd on New Year's Eve. But yeah, Notre Dame and Georgia then played, and Notre Dame scored, 17 points in 25 seconds of game time, like between the end of the first half and the start of the second half.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Yeah. I think Riley Leonard had 97 passing yards and like 80-something rushing yards.
Insane. Just, I don't know how Notre Dame shocked me. I didn't expect them to be where they are right now, honestly.
I didn't expect them physically to be able to match up with Georgia's
No,
front,
we
offensive and
discussed
defensive
that.
lines. Yeah,
We
like
thought
that.
in the trenches, Georgia was going to dominate.
Yep.
They did not.
No, Notre Dame took their lunch money and ran like that. I mean, that's how the game basically changed right at the end of the first half. They get pressure off the tackles, strip sack Gunnar Stockton, and then it's over from there. But we saw an SEC team get beat, so life's good. And now either Notre Dame or Penn State's going to be playing for a national title
That's crazy.
in a week or whenever the heck the national title game is. I don't know exactly when it is, but
And what are the next games? Like the 10th?
yeah, they're actually Thursday and Friday of this week, the 9th and the 10th. And then, yeah, I'm assuming the Natty's probably that Monday night afterward, I'm guessing. Or the following, like, not the Monday where they're obviously having
Right,
the NFL
about
playoffs.
10 days.
Yeah.
10 days later.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking just to be sure. Yep, Monday, January 20th.
Okay.
So in a couple weeks. Okay, so I want your picks. Who you got?
I mean, I'm going to stick with Texas,
Yeah.
but that's homerism. But I do like, I mean, Ohio State has not played a defense like Texas's yet.
Mm-mm.
Texas does have the best defense in the country, which is crazy, having come from the Big 12 where they don't play defense.
Yep.
But and I now I'm going to say Notre Dame, with Texas winning it all. That's also, yes, that's homerism. But can we talk about how scared, like, I don't believe young children should be allowed to go to the Penn State Notre Dame game, especially young boys.
Oh,
especially young Catholic boys.
Yeah, they're making
Pedo
some.
Bowl.
I think they're making shirts already.
Oh, I have to be.
It's not quite Catholics versus convicts, like from the Notre Dame against the U days, but it's something.
Well, I'm gonna say, like, as a Catholic, 'cause I'm wearing a St. Ben school shirt right now, my
Nice.
Catholic school. As a Catholic, the fact that it's Catholic priests aren't really innocent in all of this either. So
Yeah. When you look, I mean, not
they're not.
it's not all of them that are bad, and not all of them that are good. There's some
Yeah.
messy stuff. Just to say the
Sandusky versus Saint Dusky.
So I'm gonna go opposite you on both of them. Give me an all
I'm
Big
sure.
because you had Notre Dame, right?
Yep.
Did I hear that right? Okay. Yep. Give me the All Big Ten Bowl.
All
Also
right.
because it would, I think it would kill ESPN.
It would.
And can you imagine if Penn State ends up winning it all? James Franklin gets the whole narrative monkey off his back, and Ryan Day probably still gets fired.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, go to the national championship game and get fired. Oh boy. Hey, one thing, there was a national championship game last night. North Dakota State won their 10th FCS championship over Montana State, which good for the Missouri Valley, but I hate them so much, so much.
Bison.
Anybody from Fargo, I'm sorry, you have to live there. It's just I do not like them at all.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's all I got.
They're definitely a dynasty. Eventually, they have to, like, get moved up to the.
I think it's just money talks. They're just waiting. And if they can just, and who knows, maybe they're making a good amount of money just running their way through the FCS each year.
It was a pretty tight game, though, wasn't it? It came down to
they were up 21-3. Montana State came back and made it 18-21. And then I can't remember if it got tied late or if North Dakota State was still, like, in the ballpark of a 3-point lead. And then I think they went up 10. Montana State got a touchdown extra point. Then they kicked an onside, didn't get it. And then North Dakota State basically had a walk-off punt because Montana State tried to block the punt with like 8 seconds left. So they didn't have one guy back. And they didn't. Yeah, so the ball just rolled around on the ground and time ran out. So no time for pitchy woo-woo.
That's sad.
I know. We haven't had a good
You love pitchy woo-woo.
I do. Thank you, Scott Van Pelt, for coining that term. So, that's all our college stuff, Cody. Are you ready to dive into the NFL?
Nope. See you later.
Okay. So, before Cody runs off here, I'm just going to share the bad news already. I didn't beat him any weeks in picks. It sucks.
Not one? I thought you were like, last year, didn't you win overall?
I did.
God, you talked a lot about that because it seems like I've won like the last 3 years before that. But
I'm like any Lions and Vikings fan right now. I'm just cherishing the one good year that we have.
The Lions have had a couple good years here, buddy.
Okay, it's 2. Good for them. They have 2.
That's what a couple means. Yes.
Talk to me when you have like 20 years of greatness. Then we'll talk.
You're sounding like a Patriots fan right now.
Yeah, but unlike the Patriots, the Packers are still relevant.
For now.
How's Miami doing, Cody?
They're doing good. Why? They're living in Miami, so it's at least when their season's done, they have beaches and women around them instead of Green Bay. Blech.
Cancun on 3. Okay, so
Andy won 0 weeks.
Yes, I did.
Won 0 weeks. Let's just.
It was painful.
To be fair, the last game decided it. And Andy had to cheer for the Vikings and get disappointed by the Vikings losing.
I threw up.
That makes me so much more. That makes me so happy.
Well, at least it makes somebody happy because it makes me want to. It made me want to puke.
Oh, it was so great. Just knowing you had to, like, I don't think you were rooting for them in the game, but
no, I wasn't. But you know what? As soon as the bad stuff all started happening, it's like, you know what? It's all right. It's not. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't. Honestly, and through all of Sunday, once the Packers started having their injury problems, I was like, I don't even care anymore. I really don't. We gotta get people healthy. That's all I cared about. But
yeah.
Okay, so let's run our way through the NFL gauntlet from this past week because there's some games that we'll just kind of really glance over because there's not a lot.
Right.
So Cleveland, Baltimore wins going away, gets the wins the AFC North.
Yep.
They're kind of scary, I still think.
Yeah. I did see a really cool moment from that game.
What was that?
I don't remember what the lineman was that was lining up against Garrett.
Oh, okay. No, I don't
Myles Garrett. He said to Myles Garrett, "Hey man, I know I'm a nobody, but can I get your jersey after the game?" And the guy's like, "Hey, you're not a nobody. You're playing in the league. You're winning. You're not a nobody. No, you know, and I'll get you." And so he gave him his jersey at the end of the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean,
do you think he still tries to stay in Cleveland?
I can't imagine you would. Like, Deshaun's still your quarterback. I mean,
well,
at least
maybe not. Maybe not. Because did you hear that he had a setback with his Achilles that he might?
Yeah,
be out
but
all
like
next
he's
year?
still under contract.
So I guess he has a no trade clause in that contract. You just keep reading more and more details of that, and it just gets worse by the minute.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe Aaron Rodgers can go there and help him, recover from an Achilles injury. Too soon?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Baltimore good, Cleveland bad. So about the Cincinnati Bengals striking fear in everybody in the AFC.
I got shot in the foot.
Yeah. It's not good.
No, but yeah, the narrative. I love Joe Burrow, but you know, like if the narrative there is there about Tua and not being able to play full seasons, he's missed 2 more games than Tua.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a good narrative to have. Stuff happens, but if that's what they're going to go about, he has been he's gotten a little. He won a couple playoff games, yes, but they've missed the playoffs. They haven't been solid.
Mm. Oh, they just fired their defensive coordinator. We'll see if that helps. Because now, when you start firing people, everything works out great.
Yeah.
Now, quick question on the other side: How bad is it in Pittsburgh right now?
Oh, it's. I can give a controversial take on this.
Okay, go ahead. I know what you're getting ready to say. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you know this. There's a thing going around that they're firing coaches too much because when they're black, they don't get a good opportunity or good chance. I don't necessarily disagree, but I don't disagree that there's been some coaches that have probably deserved a little bit longer shot, or like, I don't think it has anything to do with them being black or white or anything. I think like New England is not used to losing, so they don't know how to react in it as part of that. I mean, there's been a lot of white coaches that have gotten fired after 1 year. I looked at the list of them. It was mostly white guys that had. The Tomlin is a great. He's Jeff Fisher, only a little better.
Yep.
He's going to get you right around that 500 mark every year, but like you're going to get a winning season, but you're not going anywhere with it. He's not a bad coach, but he's not a great coach. He needs what Andy Reid needed when he left the Eagles.
Like a hard reset.
Reset. Go somewhere else. It's not going to happen, and I think he's gotten more of a shot. I don't know if it's because he's black or not. Like I don't think that's it.
I don't think it is, just because look at Pittsburgh's history with head coaches. They don't fire people.
They don't.
They just don't, because their run with head coaches is kind of similar to like the Packers with quarterbacks. It's just they've had 3 in the last like 50 years with Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin. And also I think Tomlin's much like another team that wears those colors. It's much like Iowa and Kirk Ferentz. Like, cool, we're going to finish maybe 8 wins, 9 wins, maybe in the occasional 10, 11 win season, but we're not going to do anything. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. So,
like, as I don't have a lot to stand on as a Dolphins fan with, we haven't had a playoff win since 2020. They haven't had. I don't think they've won a playoff game since 2016, and they've had every winning season and since then. So it's there's something like we've seen coaches get fired at 14-2 after losing their first playoff game.
Yep, Marty Schottenheimer.
So if the goal is to win Super Bowl championships, something's got to give there.
Especially in Pittsburgh, where that's all you know. I think the quote is the standard is the standard. Like that's their little motto. So what is your standard officially? Is it just being good, not great? Like having a winning season or having a non-losing season? Or is it actually contending to try to catch New England in Super Bowls? Like, or getting ready to, I don't know, get passed by Kansas City in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then, I mean, who does Pittsburgh keep as quarterback next year between Russ and Justin Fields?
If either of them?
I'd say Fields personally, but
I would agree with that, but
because again, you're going to get to your ceiling with Russ. You're just not going to get any higher or lower. But with Fields, I think your ceiling is a bit higher. Oh, I think we have lost Cody. He's froze on my screen. Cody, if you can hear me, you might have to back out and come back in. So while we wait.
Hello, I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, you're lagging pretty hard, buddy.
You're not. You're lagging on my end.
Oh. Okay. Here's what I need to come.
You want me to log out?
Yeah, Cody, I can barely even hear 2 words you were saying. Okay, you're a little bit back. A little bit. Oh, now it's froze again. Oh, I love the internet. It's fun. It's all fun. Okay, well, while we wait for our technical difficulties to get resolved, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. After some slight technical difficulties, we're back. So, we're talking about Mike Tomlin. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do if you're Pittsburgh. Personally, I would stick with Fields and tell Russ go bye-bye, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think you've seen the best that you're going to see from Russell Wilson. Fields still has room to grow.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for that match. That was it for the Saturday games. Now we'll go quickly to Sunday. Carolina and Atlanta. Carolina, Bryce Young, balls out.
Yeah, they played pretty well.
He looks good.
He looks like a changed man since his benching.
Yep.
Which I thought was going to be his death sentence. Him getting benched. I was wrong.
See, I thought it'd be his death sentence in Carolina, but I just thought he needed to get a reset button and go to the Rams or go somewhere else. But credit to Carolina, they've stuck with him. They just need to now get him maybe another weapon or two. Kind of just strengthen that offensive line a little bit, and they're going to be able to contend with Atlanta and Tampa for that division. It could be like what we saw on Sunday between him and Michael Penix. That could be what we see for years to come in that division.
Yeah, for sure. That's two good quarterbacks playing against each other. Right there was.
Yeah, I mean it did work, and it warmed my heart to see Penix ball out for a bit too. He's my guy.
I do like the guy.
So, let's see. We had that matchup. Washington and Dallas. Washington wins on a late touchdown.
That was big weird game.
Yeah. Well, Washington was trailing at halftime, and then that's when they pulled Jaden Daniels because they didn't want him to get hurt, which wish another team would have done that. But Dallas starts Trey Lance, screws Cooper Rush out of some incentive money because he had to play a certain amount of snaps, and
it wasn't very many. They just had Trey Lance play the whole game so he wouldn't get them, and
and Jerry allegedly had no idea what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Jerry Jones did just have a cameo in the show Landman, so that was pretty good.
Okay. But yeah, so Washington wins. They get the 6th seed. They get to play Tampa Bay now, since Tampa, as we'll touch on later, they won their game against New Orleans.
And Mike Evans got his 1,000-yard receiving season.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, we'll just talk about that game right now. Then, I mean, that game was actually a lot closer than it probably should have been for most of it.
Yeah. It's like Tampa Bay woke up and forgot that they were playing for something.
Yeah. Aside from just the Mike Evans stat. Yeah. And can you imagine what the reaction would have been if on that last pass to Mike Evans, if that would have been bobbled or would have been picked off or something would have happened?
That would have been... grown men would have cried.
I would have laughed. That would have been hilarious. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered in hindsight because Atlanta got beat anyway, so it wouldn't have cost them the division. But it was still one of those where, oh boy. But yeah, shout out to Mike Evans. Joins Jerry Rice for the most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, I think it's 11.
Yeah, so that's cool. It's weird for a guy that's never really considered a top 5 or at least top 2 wideout.
Right. He's probably been top 5, but I don't think he's ever been the guy. He's been a very good guy for a long time.
Hall of Famer?
But I don't think so, but probably will be.
Yeah, just because of that number and with the Jerry Rice stuff.
Maybe I could see Hall of Fame. I would say Hall of Famer, not for maybe Hall of Famer, not first ballot.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, Baker continues to ball out. He even tried to look like he wanted to start a fight, which was, I don't know if you saw that or not. That was
I did. That was
the old
Baker. It's the Baker swag coming back. I like it.
which is good. That's why I'm partly glad. I guess Green Bay doesn't have to play them because I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, he's scary when he's good. When he's playing on, man, he's so good.
Cody, and speaking of my team, should I just dive into my game? I don't want to.
Go into it.
Should we? So, just hypothetically, if your team has a long shot of getting the 6th seed, or just moving up a seed, not necessarily even getting a bye, but just moving up a seed, would you play your starters or not?
No.
In the last week of the year?
No.
Okay. You and I are on the same page.
Especially if you're playing a team that you could hypothetically beat with your backups.
Yeah. But no, Green Bay decided to play their starters, and I'm glad Josh Jacobs didn't get hurt too on Sunday. That would have been really bad. But Christian Watson comes back, which I don't know why he was playing either, comes back from a knee injury after practicing in a limited capacity during the week, and tears his ACL and a bunch of other things in his knee. So he's done for this year and a good portion of next year.
A lot of next year, yep.
Yeah. So that part sucked. The part that was arguably probably the worst was Jordan Love suffered, like, I don't know if he hit his funny bone on an elbow, or like he basically couldn't, it was like the Brock Purdy thing of a couple of years ago, he couldn't grip the football with his throwing hand, which, hopefully he's better by this week. And then Malik Willis, the backup quarterback, hurt his thumb late in the game. Matt LaFleur had awful clock management, and the Packers lose to the Bears for the first time in 12 games, which, and I did tell you this going into the week, I didn't care win or lose about the game. I only cared about one thing, and that was coming out of the game healthy. And we could not do that at all.
No, you did not come out very healthy at all. That sucks. That's not what you want to see in that situation.
Yeah. I feel bad.
You know what? By the time like one player gets a significant injury, that should be like, yeah, let's get these guys out of here.
Yep. That was my thought too. But nope.
Now, I think we both are of the idea, like we both like our coaches, our head coaches.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean we like everything that they do, and they're not perfect. They're no Don Shula's. Get it? Because he was perfect.
Yeah. I get you.
They all have some things they need to learn or work on, and they do some boneheaded stuff, like not pulling players when you should, or clock management seems to be such a frustrating thing, because it's like, if us fans at home are seeing it, you should be able to see this.
Well, like, for example, Packers have the ball. It's going to be 4th down and like 2 and they had a chance of either kicking a 55-yard field goal or going for it with like a minute left. The Bears only have one timeout left, and LaFleur decided to call timeout instead of letting the play clock run all the way down, because initially he said he was going to go for it. But instead, Packers kick a field goal. They make it. They go up by 1, 2, however much it was. We're up regardless.
Yeah.
Bears get the ball back. There's a horse collar tackle on Caleb Williams. And then with like 15 seconds left, the Bears have no timeouts left, and we play probably the worst prevent defense I think I've ever seen. And allow the Bears to have a quick completion over the middle. They clock it. Cairo Santos gets redemption from the blocked field goal earlier in the year, and the Bears finally win in Lambeau for the first time since Thanksgiving night, 2015.
Does that? I think that counts as a loss against
Love,
because he started it. Yeah.
Yep. Which he wasn't. I mean,
no,
obviously Jordan wasn't playing great before he got hurt anyway. But yeah, not ideal. But I heard there was a little.
Does that mean he has to revoke his ownership?
Just a portion of it, probably. But and I heard there was maybe not necessarily shouting, but there were some loud voices in the locker room after the game. So maybe this could be like their galvanizing moment. Like maybe it's a good thing that they actually lost, instead of like how Minnesota the previous week, how they were getting their butts kicked and they kind of made it close at the end, even if it wasn't really that close. So we'll see. Now we get to play Philly.
Yeah,
Jalen
Hurts is out.
He's not out, but he still hasn't been cleared yet.
It's going to be a battle of like, who knows what's going to happen at quarterback in that game.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to hear for a playoff game.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Okay, Cody, the next game I really want to touch on. Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
I have heard that like Sirianni is still like on the hot seat if they lose week 1, which is
weird
crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true. Rumor, the rumor mill.
I know, I've heard the same thing too. I mean, I think it'd be stupid to fire him. The guy who got you to the 2 seed again. Like, again, if he was fighting with players and maybe he is behind the scenes, maybe I can understand it more. But
yeah, if he was like kicking him or something, but that would be crazy to kick a kicker.
Yeah. I mean, must only happen in urban areas or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
But
nice.
Okay, so Cody, the next game, I got to ask you, how petty is it to wear the jerseys of a city you left against same city?
As petty as when you beat the team that did it to make like a meme about it.
I could, just in my humble opinion, I think this means that the Texans, since they beat them the last 2 years, they should get ownership of those jerseys.
They should.
Like, those are the rules. It should be like that.
That'd be cool to have actually have that game mean something like that. Like,
well, it's like I've seen the jokes where they said when the Packers and the Lions play each other, the winner should get the upper peninsula of Michigan.
Nice.
That's connected to Wisconsin. So,
yep.
But yeah, Will Levis is. I think his time in Tennessee's done.
Yeah,
but he didn't have the most.
They got the number 1 pick.
Hey, I know it because of what New England did. If you're New England, how do you win that game against Buffalo? Like, how? It's like the Giants the previous week against Indy. How?
Because do you think that's what pushed Mayo out? Or do you think he was gone regardless? Because if he's gone regardless, that can be his kind of FU to the organization.
I think he was
That's
gone
my
regardless.
guess.
Because I think they're kind of in a, like you said earlier, they're not used to losing.
They don't know, yeah.
Especially after the Brady Belichick era.
When I see them right now, I think of that scene in Miracle. You've never seen it. Have you?
I've seen Miracle.
Okay, when the Russian team is losing at the very end, and like Herb's like they don't know what to do, and they're kind of in that like, how do we handle this?
Yep.
Situation right now.
It would honestly
Which
be
I love to see.
Oh yeah, with New England, yeah. It honestly
if
be
it
like
wasn't
if
for Buffalo being good.
It'd be like if Green Bay stops having good quarterbacks after good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like in honesty.
Way to bring it back to you, Andy.
Don't worry, that's what I'm here for. But yeah, so that's one head coaching opening in Gerard Mayo.
Yep.
Surprisingly, well, actually, no, not surprisingly. Doug Peterson's gone in Jacksonville. That's number 2.
Yeah. Can't believe that didn't happen about 16 weeks ago.
No, I can't believe it didn't happen after a London game. I wonder who gets that job. I mean, it has to be kind of semi-highly sought because of the quarterback, you would think. Well, in the location.
Is that one Gruden looks at?
Oh, Gruden with Sunshine would be fun.
That would be.
Maybe we'll go back to the Raiders.
No, maybe job not. Opened up today.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so, and did you see the rift going on with the Colts and Pat McAfee and everything?
No.
Also, Pat McAfee made some comments on Twitter and on his show after the Colts got beat by the Giants last week. Like he doesn't like really how things look in the organization, with the people that are run there. Not necessarily the GM. I don't know if he was calling out Irsay too, but
okay.
He didn't show up to the game this week. Like his suite was empty.
Oh.
And Pat doesn't miss many if any Colts stuff or stuff in Lucas Oil. So
interesting.
They're running part of the ship of the, when they're used to a high level of the standard being high, and now you're not there right now. That's not good.
Yeah, it's very true. They did have a lot of good years
with Peyton, Captain Andrew Luck, until they hurt the captain.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Finished off the NFL slate. Giants lost at the Eagles. Not really a lot to take
Nothing
away from
there.
that game. Giants are awful. Brian Dable somehow kept his job. Good for him. The Chiefs GV practice squad lost at Denver.
Like, them losing doesn't surprise me like that. The way they lost does. Like, the fact that they just let them keep piling on.
Yeah, well, it also doesn't help that they probably didn't leave Kansas City until like the wee hours of the morning before the game.
That's true. There was some ice.
Yeah, ice, snow, something I guess had been in the forecast for like a couple of weeks, and they still didn't leave early enough, which is great. That's exactly what you like to hear. But yeah, Denver wins. They get the last AFC spot.
Which they no, they wouldn't have gotten regardless. If they lost,
yeah, they lost since he would have been in.
Yep.
Okay, Raiders lost to the Chargers. Raiders fire Antonio Pierce. I don't know. That's not a lot to say about that one. Seahawks beat the Rams backups. Still nothing.
That was a good game, though.
It was very close, very highly entertaining, actually.
Yeah.
And then, Cody, should we talk about your game?
Let's go for it. Let's shoot me while I'm down here.
Well, for once, I picked the Jets, and they actually won.
Yeah.
Aaron threw his 500th touchdown.
And his 501st, and his 502nd, and his 503rd.
Yep, I think he's still throwing touchdowns right now.
Seems like it.
Yeah, threw one to Devontae. I think his last touchdown went to Breece Hall.
Yep.
So he actually kind of looked like the Rodgers of old, in a sense.
Yeah. If you want to see Rodgers look really good, have him play the Dolphins 17 times a year, because he had 2 very good games against the Dolphins.
That is true.
The one before he did not win, but this one he did. But he looked like a superstar against the Dolphins defense, which came into that game as the 3rd ranked defense in the NFL.
I would never have guessed that.
I wouldn't have either.
Even after watching the game, would never have guessed that.
No.
Where do you think he goes? What do you think he does next year?
I don't. There's a couple of teams. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Minnesota.
I know you're still on that, but one just popped into my not Philly. Pittsburgh makes some sense.
Him and Tomlin have a big mutual respect for one another. Indy would be another one. The Browns would be. I don't think they have the cap room for him. I don't think they do either.
Minnesota is still a possibility. Yeah. His time at the Jets has to be done.
Yeah, and he wouldn't go to the other New York team. He wouldn't go to New Orleans. He's going to go somewhere where he can potentially think he can win, but I think it's very limited. So we'll see. If not, heck of a career for the former number 12 in green and gold. He did wear number 12.
Yeah, I know. I just hear a thumping noise. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Oh, I got you. I don't know. Is it just the final nail going in the Dolphins' coffin, or is that already there?
Yeah, that was there a while ago.
Oh, okay. So, what does Miami do with all the fun question marks they have?
Well, Tyreek after the game made some comments that makes it sound like he wants out. Now, he said that they aren't. I don't know. I don't remember what the quote was. It wasn't overly bad, but it wasn't good. And he knows everything he says and does is getting scrutinized. And he said he's opening the door to get traded, which he's been saying he's not doing that all year. Blah blah blah. People have been kind of thinking he was, and then right after that game. Now, it is an emotional time. They just got eliminated from the playoffs. He's not used to that. Mm-hmm. He didn't hit 1,000 yards receiving for the first time in forever. He just didn't have a good season. But a lot of that's on him. He had a lot of drop passes this year. He did not look good in a lot of big moments.
I think he's 31 now too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, especially for a speed guy, that might be ending the end of the road is probably near.
Yeah. To be fair to him, he has not taken a lot of big hits that a lot of speed guys do.
That's true.
He knows how to avoid those.
Except with the police, but
he also doesn't know how to pull out. He did have a conversation with the Dolphins brass today, and he did not ask for a trade there. I don't know what to read into that. I guess it was about an hour-long meeting with Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. So it'll be interesting. Let's just add a little drama to the offseason for the Dolphins. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you needed any more or anything.
No.
And now then you have to get your quarterback healthy too with his hip issue, which kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they said he came in the Houston game, played through it the next week, and then they said it wasn't a pain issue because Tua was willing to play through pain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know this. He's pretty stubborn. I think it was more of a high risk of making it a more severe injury. So
kind of like the injury that he had at Alabama, basically.
Yeah. Same area, not the same spot, but yeah. Same hip, but not the same injury. Thank God.
No, I gotcha. So speaking of injuries, San Francisco doesn't have Brock Purdy on Sunday against Arizona because he hurt his arm again. His price tag went way down, correct?
It had to have. Do you hear a thumping sound?
No, I do not.
Weird.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, no, I don't hear anything. And maybe you're just hearing voices in your head. Are you seeing
Maybe I'm
ghosts?
Hallucinating. Maybe.
Oh, hey,
a lot of weird noises.
Speaking of seeing ghosts, was Sam Darnold seeing those again on Sunday night?
It reminded me of. I'm gonna bring this back. I'm gonna do a pull on Andy. I'm gonna pull this back to a Dolphins game. Do you remember when the Dolphins played Lamar on Monday Night Football a few years back, and they blitzed? It was with Flores, and they blitzed him all night long.
Yep.
That game just happened again.
Yep. Except Detroit wasn't really blitzing; they were just getting pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure.
Which is crazy because they don't have their good edge rushers right now.
I know, but the thing is, they did that against Green Bay too. They got pressure right up the middle. Like that's where they were able to get pressure against Love until Green Bay made some adjustments. But I'll eat crow on the Lions. I really thought they would. I thought Minnesota would win because I didn't think the Lions would be able to stop them. I thought the Vikings could stop them a little bit, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs also kind of good at football after he got laid out by Van Ginkel. Pretty good at football.
Don't talk about Van Ginkel.
I'm sorry. Not sorry at all.
You could also call him Hugh Wang if you wanted to.
I'm not going to. I'll let you call him that, but okay.
That's from Hard Knocks.
Okay.
Last year when the Dolphins were on it, he had a stolen HBO Max account, and it was the name on it was Hugh Wang. So
oh, that's funny. That's pretty solid.
I don't remember. They ended up signing the guy. I don't remember who it was, who he was stealing it from too. Like later in the season.
Oh, that's awesome.
But anyway, I know you're
what
weird.
Hey, the only thing I wanted to say about Darnold, like he was missing a bunch of passes high and everything on Sunday night. The same thing happened against Green Bay. It's just the passer was maybe about an inch lower, and the Minnesota receivers were making these unbelievable catches. They didn't do that on Sunday night against Detroit, and that's where he dug a big hole. Especially after he was missing like wide open guys in the end zone on like 7 to goal goal to go situations that they had.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane how he just looked frazzled. Like
Yep.
it reminded me, like the day that he said he was seeing ghosts. It was very reminiscent of that.
Yep. And who knows? I think his,
His
all you
price
heard
tag.
was, yeah, what were the Vikings going to do? And they still could do that because you never know if he could go on a run and they could win the Super Bowl. But like the talk was, oh, what are they going to do between him and McCarthy? And now it's like, oh, maybe tone her down just a little bit.
To be fair, though, like he had an unbelievable season, and I think
that is true.
The Vikings proved that the Jets quit on him too soon.
I would partly agree with that, but it's also the fact of I think he was just smart to leave the Jets because
yeah, for sure, terrible run organization that just beat the crap out of the Dolphins, but it was. I mean, the Jets. The Jets are just a bad organization.
Yeah,
Top
just
down.
a little bit. Just a little bit. Again, they made the trade for Aaron Rodgers. Packers kind of swung a limb out of some picks. Yeah. My dad was happy, though, that he thought they at least kind of semi-knocked Miami out of the playoffs, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
No.
Denver winning, so.
Would you kick your dad in the shin for me? Thanks.
Okay. I'll try to. You may not see me for the next podcast, but...
It's fine.
Okay. So, Cody, you ready to start some more picks? This time, playoff edition.
I mean, to be fair, I think I could stop now, and you could get everyone right, and I still win.
6, 4. Yeah, no, I wouldn't catch you. Not enough games. But
before we dive, picks anyway.
That's all right. Before we dive into our pick segment, we just have to let everybody know that our pick segment is brought to you by the boys at Lick Take Lawn Care. Lick Take specialize in complete lawn maintenance and health, snow and ice control, which is kind of nice this time of the year, and small engine repairs. And also, shout out to our friends Raymond and then his coworker Aiden. They're currently down in Missouri, working on a bunch of snow and ice removal. As we were talking, they have been there for like 34 hours straight. Good for them. There's
awesome.
There's no way I could do that. But they're helping all the folks down there having issues with snow and ice. So if you have any issues with snow and ice of yourself or just have any questions, give the guys at Lick Take a call at 563-203-4238.
Perfect.
Okay, Cody, let's just do it. I'm scared of where we're going here, but
let's go. We got LA Chargers at the Houston Texans.
I had to pick Jim Harbaugh. I hate picking Jim Harbaugh.
I also took the Chargers.
That's when you know it's bad when you and I both had to pick the team that we hate.
I don't like the Chargers. I would love to see the Chargers lose like they did last
Jacksonville.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Oh my gosh, that'd be funny.
That was so fun.
It's just I don't know, Houston. I don't know about.
I don't trust them at all.
Yeah,
I don't trust them at all.
They just start slow. They're sporadic. It's just bad.
They weren't a good football team this year. They got in because they're in an even worse division.
Yeah. So and Herbert's playing good ball. The Chargers play good, solid defense. They run the ball. It's kind of what you need to do in the postseason.
What's Herbert throwing, like 3 interceptions this season?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's
pretty
playing
good.
Ball.
Prick.
Saturday night on Amazon Prime, Steelers, Ravens.
You got to go with the Ravens. The Steelers have limped into the postseason.
I agree. I'm also picking the Ravens. However, as with most of these games, I think this game actually is close at the end.
Yeah.
It's just a Steelers-Ravens football game. It's bound to happen. There's probably going to be a fight, too, at some point.
Yeah, it might be Tomlin and Harbaugh. I don't know.
Or it might be, I don't know, Pickens and Marlon Humphrey, maybe?
That's true.
Or Pickens and himself. I don't know.
Pickens and just anybody.
Yeah. It's probably on paper, probably the biggest, I'm going to say the game that probably is the biggest spread
Yeah.
would be the next one you would think. Broncos Bills.
Yeah, I took Buffalo.
Yeah,
I hate that I took Buffalo.
It's just Josh Allen's MVP. Denver's Denver. I don't know. I don't trust Bo Nix.
But Denver did just
playoff
win 37 or 38-0 against the Super Bowl defending, 2-time Super Bowl defending champion Kansas City Chiefs.
That's true. These are also both the teams that handed the Chiefs their only losses of the year. Oh, we losing you again?
I don't know.
I hope not. I don't. You're still there. You haven't froze yet.
Yeah. You froze. So.
Okay. Okay. You know where I'm going. It's Packers Eagles. All the NFC games, by the way, are rematches of earlier in the year. 2 of them are actually Week 1 rematches.
That's funny.
But
I took the Eagles.
That's fair. I honestly think whoever wins this game comes out of the NFC.
I feel like the Eagles are a more complete team.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. They also have Saquon. He scares me a lot.
Saquon is good,
but if Hurts does not clear concussion protocol, then sound the alarm.
But if Love can't grip a football, also sound the alarm.
No, because then you really have to sound the alarm because I don't know if Malik Willis can play. I don't know what exactly he did to his thumb. So that might be Sean Clifford time, maybe, or I don't even know who the heck our third string quarterback is. So Sean Clifford, I watched play at Penn State. He can't throw.
Well, that's a good thing for a quarterback to not be able to do.
Yeah, especially in the postseason. All right, next game on the docket. Commanders Bucks.
This was a Week 1 game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tampa won. It was Jane Daniels' first career start.
I am gonna go with Tampa.
I am too.
I think home crowd, hometown, and Baker's got some playoff experience.
And Baker's got some swag going right now.
He does have some swag going. And the Commanders have they were hot early. They've fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, they're kind of been a nice, they've been a roller coaster. It's like, it was going up, after they beat Atlanta. Now it's just kind of, I don't know, the Dallas game is whatever.
It was a weird game. It was a nice win, but
I really don't know where I'm going to go on this one, Cody. The last one, I really don't know.
I took the Vikings. I don't know why. I think it was just because I had picked too many home teams in a row, so
I'm going to pick the Rams. Only because, well, 2 things. One, I want to see how Darnold bounces back after that kind of clunker of a game. And also, McVay, Stafford, Nakua, Cup.
You make some very good points there.
I do want to say, while Austin was not able to give us his lock of the week for this week, our buddy Christian was. He has Minnesota -1.5. Lock it in. I was told.
Interesting.
Christian also does want to know, too, as we wrap up our pick segment, what lower seed is most likely to move on, do you think? Like, if you had to put all your chips onto one of the lower seeds. I think we can both, aside from me picking Green Bay, I would say probably the Chargers. Because that's a 5 against a 4. Or do you have more faith in Minnesota?
No, I would. The Chargers are the only one I have a lot of faith in right now.
Yeah. I mean, they probably should be favored, actually. I don't know what the line is, but...
Yeah, I don't... Yeah, the Steelers, Broncos, I don't have any. The Packers,
Ooh, Chargers are favored by 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be a fun weekend of football, though.
For sure.
I love Wild Card Weekend. And I mean, tomorrow night, or Thursday night, we have the I think it's the Cotton Bowl between or no, not the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl between Penn State and Notre Dame. Friday night we have the Cotton Bowl between Texas and Ohio State, and then we got playoff football for 3 days.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
It's such a great time of the year, but it also is leading up to like the most depressing time of the year.
Yeah. Cody, I just realized I did mess up a little bit. I gave a wrong sponsor for the.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. That's all right. We'll change it up for this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have anything else NFL wise you want to touch on before we get into our top 5?
We didn't really mention coaches that all got fired this season. We should go.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce,
Yep.
Gerard Mayo,
Yep.
Doug Peterson.
Yep.
Robert
Saleh, Matt Eberflus, and Dennis Allen.
It's like 6 is always right around that number. How many are gone every year?
Yep, it's always 6, 7, and there's always like one surprise.
Which
I don't know if
to be fair, there might it might not be done. Are there any GMs that got fired that that might pick a different head coach? Because that sometimes happens. Like,
yeah, who in that? I don't know if any of all the GMs that got fired.
I don't either. I was really surprised to hear the Dolphins kept their GM this year, but Hawks.
Titans fired their GM. I guess. Oh yeah, that was actually kind of a surprise.
Okay,
but yet they kept their head coach.
Well, I mean, we'll have head coaching stuff to talk about especially after the season.
Yeah, that's about all I've seen.
Once football season winds down, we're grasping at some more straws here. So,
but then it's NASCAR season.
I'll have wrestling. We'll have some more Hawks wrestling season.
Go Hawks. So, okay, Cody.
Which their Big Ten opener is this Sunday against Wisconsin, by the way.
Nice. The Badgers. The good old Badgers. Okay, so, Cody, since I messed up our previous little sponsorship here, before we get into our top 5 sponsor for this week is Zip and Zoobs Detailing. Zip and Zoobs Detailing offers a cleaning service for your vehicle, whether it be car, truck, egg equipment, whatever you may need or have. So, you want to make an appointment? Give a call at 563-380-9772.
And Ray is willing to work long hours for you. Because he just worked a 34-hour shift.
Exactly. Yeah, Ray and Reese do a phenomenal job, so give them a call. Heck, even tell them that we sent you there. Don't know what it'll do, but just tell them that we sent you there.
Yeah. They might laugh at you. Who cares?
Probably. Okay, so Cody, what do we got for top 5 this week?
Our top 5 is our favorite sports moments of 2024.
Yeah. Heck, I wouldn't even say favorite. I'm just gonna go with my top ones, like the ones that I think I'll remember the most from this past year. Like that's what I'm gonna. That's how I'm gonna kind of phrase it. Do you want me to lead off, or do you want to lead off?
Well, I always lead off. Let's keep it. You messed up enough tonight. Let's keep it something consistent.
Okay,
I'll lead it off.
That's fine. Okay, that's
my
fine.
number 5 was actually Wrexham getting promoted. Their back-to-back promotions happened this year or last year, I guess. That was pretty sweet, especially having just gotten into it a little bit.
Okay, I like that. My number 5 is actually gonna be something that I was in person to see because it is top for me. Got to see Ryan Blaney win at Iowa Speedway.
Nice.
Which is in NASCAR in the Cup Series first ever appearance at the track. So
that was the one you wanted to leave early at.
No, don't even talk to me about that.
I have fun. Let's see.
Oh boy.
My number 4 is Texas Longhorns making the college football playoffs.
Ooh, that's a good one. Believe it or not, I did not have Indiana in my list.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's actually kind of surprising. So, my number 4, I'm going to stick with the whole racing theme. The finish to the Indianapolis 500 was awesome between Joseph Newgarden and Pato O'Ward. They traded the lead. They both swapped the lead. twice on the final lap, with Newgarden finally getting the best of award to win back-to-back Indy 500 titles.
Nice.
Awesome finish considering that the rest of the day sucked with rain everywhere between Charlotte and Indy. So, but that was fun.
I remember that. I do remember the rainy day. I don't remember anything that happened in any of the races, but I do remember that it was rainy.
Yes. Very, very, very wet.
One of your drivers was going to do both, and it ended up
not one of my favorite, but Kyle Larson, the guy who's like best on planet Earth.
Yeah. Let's see. My number 3 was actually unbelievably a basketball moment. The Hawk women beating LSU to make the
Final Four.
Yeah. Was it the Final Four? Yeah.
Yep.
They beat LSU. That was awesome.
Then they beat South Carolina to go to the Natty, they beat they beat UConn to go to the Natty to lose to South Carolina. That's what happened. So, yeah, that run was fun though. My gosh, that run was fun. Okay, my number 3 is gonna be something that I kind of actually mentioned already in the podcast. It did happen the same day as the NASCAR race at Iowa Speedway. It was the finish of the U.S. Open in golf between Rory and Bryson, because that was fun to watch.
Fun.
And then it was
cool.
heartbreaking when Rory couldn't make a couple 3-footers. It was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucked. Especially at the time, I was not a big Bryson fan, but I've become a Bryson fan since.
Yeah.
Is that just because I've been paying more attention and he's a cool guy?
Nope, I understand.
Like, I'm noticing that like a lot of multiple of mine have a little bit of like our bittersweet moments.
Okay.
Like the Hawks, like Texas Longhorns, that could end up becoming better. I don't know, but the Hawk women, they beat LSU to go to the Final Four.
Yep.
Where they ended up eventually losing. Well,
championship.
Yep. My second favorite of the year was Spencer Lee.
Ooh.
Going to the Olympic finals, going throughout the Olympics, just getting to see him wrestle again freestyle, where unfortunately he did lose in the gold medal match, but it was awesome to see him. I do remember I was wearing my Apple Watch at the time, and my heart rate was kind of scary during the match.
Oh, dang. Probably about how mine was at the end of the NASCAR championship race,
but mine was a sport.
Quiet you. Yeah. Hey, we're passionate sports fans. That's what we do.
It is. Sometimes I wish I wasn't as passionate, but I wouldn't be me.
Yeah. Nope. Same here. Okay. Number 2 for me. I just had a good one in my head. Why can't I think of it? Dang it. Okay. Number 2 for me. We're going to go to the Super Bowl because you have an overtime. Or actually, no. Never mind. I remember now. It wasn't the Super Bowl. It was the game before the Super Bowl. Lions jump up 17 points on the Niners. And then Dan Campbell happened.
Yeah.
He hit on 21, basically. Or 20, however you want to look at it.
He hit on 20.
Yeah. He goes for it twice. They don't get it. Niners end up scoring touchdowns, and they go to the Super Bowl where they ultimately lose in overtime to the Chiefs. That's going to be remembered for a while, and especially if the Lions don't end up winning the Super Bowl this year.
But dude, Dan Campbell is you would want to run through a brick wall for him.
I know. Except he's on the rival team now, so no, I can't do it.
I hear you.
It's like PJ Fleck from Minnesota. I mean, I like PJ Fleck. I would run through I heard his speech and I would run through a wall from his opening press conference, but it's just he's the Minnesota head coach. Can't do
it. He is the enemy.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the top of your list? I'm curious.
The best team in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
In all professional sports. The Florida Panthers win their first Stanley Cup. Lord Stanley is home, baby. In
Good
Florida.
for you. Good
where
for
it
you, buddy.
belongs.
I'm glad. I'm just glad you at least had something positive.
I know.
That's good.
At least I had an easy number one. Like that was.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and considering that they almost choked it away too. Hey, they still won, but they almost.
Stanley is home.
Okay. Do you have a guess what my number one is? Do you have any idea?
No.
It's not necessarily a top moment per se. It's probably probably the most memorable moment. I woke up in Vegas one day and I checked my phone and I see, hey, Scotty Scheffler's been arrested. And I'm searching through Twitter. I'm turning on SportsCenter, trying to figure out what in the heck is going on, and it's what a whirlwind that was.
That was crazy.
Like, that is by far probably my most memorable moment of last year, just sports-wise, of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that actually happened.
I mean, in reality, what I should have had my number one was the fact that there was a guy that, who was it? Won a championship last year, bragged about it all off season.
Is that me?
And then he didn't win a single week.
Oh, that's me. Yep. Yeah, I figured you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say that, or I don't know, me choking away a college football championship too. I thought you were going to say that too. But
I should have brought that one up.
Yeah, said I did. Don't worry.
Dang. Hey, but we have a game coming up.
We do. My Indiana Hoosiers against your UCF
Knights. Did you play your?
Oh yeah,
second to last game.
Yeah, I killed Maryland like 94-14. So
wow, that's not good for me.
The offense is humming. Don't you worry.
I won like 21-18 over Michigan.
Yeah, so don't worry. The Bloodhounds are out.
I'm not too worried about it.
I would be. I'm going to throttle you by 40 as long as they don't throw the ball thinking I'm throwing it to the ref. It's one of those if you know, you know. Nobody else knows, but
nobody else knows, just us.
Yeah, just us. Okay, Cody, I do have one last thing just to go back to the NFL quick. What's your Super Bowl prediction as we get ready to head into the postseason?
Like who's going to win the Super Bowl? Or
yep, who's going to be the representatives and who wins?
I'm going Chiefs versus Lions with the Chiefs coming out on top.
Well, not trying to be Homer here, so I'm not going to pick the Packers. But like I said, I think whoever wins between Green Bay and Philly goes to the Super Bowl. I think Philly plays Kansas City because why would you ever pick against Patrick Mahomes? And the outcome is the same as a couple years ago because why would you ever pick against Patrick Mahomes? Kansas City gets a 3-peat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And he cements himself in the GOAT conversation, I would say.
Yeah.
If he's not there already.
Yeah. He's in the conversation right now. He's getting ready to go for that stretch to take over the top spot.
Yeah, because, I mean, they win this year. That's, what, four rings? I think, right? So that puts him on the Montana tier, and then he's just getting closer and closer to the Brady tier, and he's just starting.
Yeah.
Good for Patrick. Like he needs anything else good to happen in his life. Good for him.
He's got it pretty rough. I mean, don't take away. The dude works hard. I'm not going to say like he's
going to be a dad again soon.
Is he?
Yeah, I think they're supposed to have their baby this weekend.
Or do they have?
They have two.
Two, okay.
Yep, they have a boy and a girl, and I think they're getting ready to have another girl, I believe.
Okay. I didn't realize that Jason Kelsey and Kylie had another.
Yeah, they're going to have number 4. Another girl, too.
Oh, is it another girl? Jeepers.
Oh, boy. Pray for Jason.
And they're getting a minivan.
Yep, and they're getting a minivan. And she has like the number 1 podcast out there, too.
Yeah.
Like they need anything else good to happen to them. Good for them.
Putting in that work.
At least they're not working at Fox Sports, so that's all good. But
Oh, what a joy.
yeah, boy, what a joy. It's a joyful time over there. So, all right, Cody, got anything else you want to say to the people before we
Let's see. I got one thing to throw at you.
Okay.
Acho. Say macho.
It's actually Manuel, but yeah.
Oh yeah. It's his brother.
Yep.
My bad. Remember, fullbacks are people too.
Thank you, because we kind of screwed up on that as we ended last year. So make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. Don't compare us to Fox Sports. Give us your Super Bowl predictions, because we both know that I'm probably going to be wrong anyway. So, and yeah, just remember what Cody said, and I guess we will see you next week.
Peace.